Guess where I am? Experimenting. I'm going to see if I can I'm making a neck knife, by the way. I've stopped the hidden tang knife for now, because it's going to require more sanding than I'm able to do. So I'm making a neck knife, and I'm trying to make it in such a fashion that, number one, I have no sanding on the knife itself. And when I do get the handle on it, I will have it mostly shaped by machine with very little hand sanding. So we'll see how this works out. Oh, and I'm stylish today. Today I'm wearing my black and white cat. Everybody knows you wear black and white cats in the winter. Jeez, where's your sense of style? So this is just going to be a talking video. The knife I'm working on is, where is it? Right here by that white paper towel. That jacket she has been laying on that was my favorite jacket, and I laid it on the bench behind you, and she laid on it, so I didn't bring it home because she was on it. And then the next day she laid on it, and the next day she laid on it, so I just left it out here and started wearing my camouflage jacket. And then this morning I come out and she had thrown up a little bit on that jacket, so I cleaned it up, and I'll take it home and repossess my jacket, because that is my shop jacket there. And so I have come to, I don't know if you'd call it an epiphany, but maybe a couple of decisions. In all the years I've been living, over 6 decades, there have been ups and downs in the economy. There have been extreme interest rates. When I bought my very first house, the interest rates were at 21%. But I was determined to have a house. I think I was 22 years old. And I bought a tiny little 2-bedroom house over in Bossier City. And I went through the oil embargo in the 70s, survived that. Recessions, not a depression, but recessions, fluctuations in the economy, scarcity in jobs, and then a plethora of jobs. And I look back over my whole life, and I have never, not once, suffered from not enough money or not a job. As a matter of fact, there have been times in my life when I didn't have enough money, so I had 2 jobs. Yes, 2 jobs. And there was one short period in my life when I had a full-time job, a part-time job at night, and another part-time job on the weekends. One of them was delivering Domino's pizza. And I made some decent money back then delivering Domino's pizza. And the other part-time job was mopping floors on the Air Force Base over there. So I've never really suffered from any of the fluctuations in the economy, any of the world conflicts. I joined the Army in 1977, which was, of course, after Vietnam ended, and I got out before. I got out in 1980, so there was no wars, so I didn't have to suffer through a war. I did have both my sons, served during the Iraq War. But in all those years, no matter how much, no matter how little I worried, absolutely nothing changed. Not for me, and externally, the world didn't change whether I worried about it or not. So, I'm not going to worry anymore. I've really laid off the doom and gloom channels. And Mike, the Watchman News, Mike Callahan, he and I have spoken about this. There are YouTube channels out there who started off in prepping, and not all, but there are some that have turned into just product pimps. And, I'm a capitalist. I believe in capitalism, but I don't think some people have realized that these people are pushing products that are Chinese junk. Not all of them, and not all the products. Some of them are good products. But there's a, they call it, what do they call it? A solar generator. And it's thousands of dollars. And it provides you with such a minuscule amount of power that it simply isn't worth the cost. You'd do better off buying a small generator and a battery charger and charge a battery. You'd be, in the long run, you'd have, more bang for the buck, more watts for the dollar. But anyway, my point was, I'm just not going to worry anymore. I'm done worrying. Worrying has really taken its toll on my level of happiness and my ability to enjoy every day. This cat wants me to play so bad. All right, I'm going to give you one hand. If you bite too hard, we're going to quit. She is a cute cat. I never thought I'd love a cat, but I love this cat. She's a little aggravating, but what animal isn't? You sure got to adjust your life for animals. So, anyway, beware of the product pimps. I have stopped watching a lot of the doom and gloom, mainly because it just doesn't pay to constantly stay wound up tight. And for me, the bottom line is I have enough food to last a couple of years. I have enough cupcakes and rainbow launchers that really I never have to worry about looking for more. And if I were in a position where I had to launch all my cupcakes, I'd be dead 100 times over by the time I went through that many cupcakes. So I'm not going to worry about that. Everything that could affect my life drastically if I ran out of, I have plenty of. So I'm just done worrying. And I'm going to concentrate on enjoying life more. And right now, I'm enjoying my motorcycles. And it seems like I may be able to get a few people to join the club, the riding club that I'm first officer of. I feel funny calling myself first officer of our riding club because there's only 3 members, me, my wife, and my friend Rob over in Bossier, who some of y'all may be subscribed to him. Just Plain Common Sense is one of his channels, and what is his other channel? Feral Human. It's Feral Human, not The Feral Human. And anyway, he's going to ride with us Tuesday. You got to let go of my hand. I got to scratch my face. Okay, I got an itchy face. 1 second. I think it's cat hair. Anyway, she's got a pretty good hold on one hand, so. Anyway, Tuesday, tomorrow, we're going to meet at Spring Market in Wascom about 10:15-ish and leave about 10:30. And we're going to head down to Henderson and just have a cup of coffee at Denny's and ride back. Nice little ride for people that don't know each other. I mean, you don't want to go on real long rides if you don't know how comfortable people are, what miles they're comfortable with, the speed they like going. So when you start off riding with people you don't know, it's always best just to keep it short and don't go in any, don't lay it over in curves, and just take it easy with people you don't know. You don't know their motorcycle ability. You don't know their skill level, so you'd be silly to go faster than people are able to go. Okay, this cat's got a claw hung up on my glove. So what are we going to do here now? How are we going to fix this? Oh, you got to... Okay, something's going to happen. You got to fix it. Okay. You did that. You knew I had gloves. All right, there we go. We're free. So anyway, I'm going to try to see if I can make a knife with as little hand sanding as possible. I'm still having major problems with my shoulders. And I did have... Hold on, I think I'm going to sneeze. Oh, yeah. And I think I may be allergic to cats. My eyes are burning and I'm sneezing like crazy, so... Anyway, enough about my elbows and my shoulders. I'm having trouble. Riding my motorcycle doesn't hurt because I'm resting my arm. I'm not like pulling or pushing or lifting or repetitive motion. I'm just resting my right is the worst. And I'm just resting my hand on my throttle, and I use my cruise a lot, which is why I like to be in front so I can set my cruise and just drive with one hand. I know that's dangerous, but the other option is to not ride my motorcycle, and that's not going to happen. So I've lived kind of a rough life. You know, I drank a lot, did a lot of drugs, smoked a lot of cigarettes, and I believe I probably shortened my life significantly. So I'm going to enjoy what life the good Lord sees fit to let me have here on this side. And I'm not going to worry. At my knife shop, right now, I don't feel a whole lot like making knives. And I'm not going to worry about it. This is a hobby. And I know that all of a sudden I'll just get back interested again and spend more time out here. Right now, I'm just going to experiment and see what I can do without hand sanding. So I guess that's it. I just want to remind you that we've all been through presidencies that we weren't happy with. I can think of 8 years of a recent presidency that I was not happy with, but the bottom line is my life changed very little. I suffered none. And you know, I don't know if the country suffered. I don't know if the damage he did was repaired when the next 4 years of the Orange Man. And that's another thing. You know, I fell for, if you look back over Trump's 4 years, I liked his presidency. But in all honesty, I did not like Trump. He had a real big mouth. He had kind of a sick ego. All he had to do is read some of his tweets. It's just silly and ridiculous and childish and moronic. But I liked the direction he was making this country go. And I liked the fact that everybody who wanted jobs could have jobs. But let's not forget, I don't want to use the word. It begins with a V. He is still pushing those and wants people to take them and take the additional ones, the first two, and then the additional ones. And he's still talking about that. I don't think he would have went as far as mandates. I don't think he would have went as far as shutting businesses down. But he was on that page, and he still is. So if he gets back in, you know, we're not going to be rid of that. And, you know, I'm not sure how good an idea it was to have his kids involved that deeply in his presidency. So, you know, if he runs again, basically I would have no choice but to vote for him versus anybody else that could run. And I'm not even convinced anymore that my vote carries any weight whatsoever. I think those days are gone. And somebody said, if your vote really mattered, they wouldn't let you do it. Which really, that means, you know, that there's some truth to that. So, I'm going to go. I'm going to wake up every morning thankful that my heart's still beating. And I'm just going to enjoy life as it comes to me, and I'm not going to worry about tomorrow. And I hope you can do the same. Enjoy every day. Who knows how much time we have left. See ya. You got about 15 more minutes before I need to go check the temperature of my oil. So in 15 minutes, I'll have my coffee done. and you will have had a nice little snooze, but I'll have to put you down. Yep, I'm allergic to cats. I'm going to go back to taking some medicine that is for allergies that I quit taking a while ago because I was trying to get off some of the stuff that I'm on that I didn't absolutely have to be on, and almost immediately my eyes went back to itching and watering, and this was even before I got this cat. And now that I have the cat, my God, my eyes are just burning and itching. So I'm going to go back to taking it because I'm not going to get rid of the cat. I'll just have to deal with being allergic to her. Okay, I'm going to drink my coffee and go check the temperature on my oil and get to heat treating these. Hey, I thought of something else I wanted to tell you in the vein of what I was talking about earlier, not being worried. Oh yeah, let me give you. She's been napping here for about 15 minutes. I'm gonna wait a little while, and a few more minutes. I gotta go check my oil to see if it's come up to temperature yet. Anyway, here's one of the reasons I'm not worried about rainbow launchers. And it's really sad that you can't use certain words on YouTube or your video gets flagged. Well, anyway, several years ago, if some of y'all have been with me that long, I made, out of just scrap metal underneath my workbench, I made some cupcake launchers. Some, rudimentary, basic, one shot at a time. And one of them I still have. One of them I never did show you. And what it was a mini mag flashlight that I gutted and turned into a single shot 25 caliber pistol, which turns out was highly illegal without the proper paperwork. Well, anyway, I called the alphabet agency that looks over both alcohol, tobacco, and the other, and I explained to them what I intended to make and, what I would need to do that. And I told them I was a hobbyist, gunsmith, just worked on my own guns, and I enjoyed making them. And he said, well, let me tell you, don't even, if you have parts, don't assemble it. He said, I've seen a lot of people unknowingly get into lots of trouble over the years for making things that were very, very against the law. Well, I didn't tell him that. I'd already made it. And before I was going to put it on YouTube, I wanted to make sure that it was legal. It wasn't. Well, anyway, I just wanted to tell you that anybody can make these things. There's if it ever becomes illegal, they can't, unless they outlaw pipe and black powder, you can always have a rainbow, a cupcake launcher with some very basic tools. So I'm not even worried about that. They may not be accurate, but at close range, an inaccurate cupcake launcher would get you a much better cupcake launcher. Wink, wink. Okay, I'm gonna wake up the baby. And then I'm gonna go check the temperature of my oil. It's gotta be hot enough right now, so I'll be tempering a couple knives here in just a minute. clean a little bit of that oil off of them and get them in my tempering oven. This is to keep bugs and birds and stuff out of there. All right, let me get them cleaned up and put them in the tempering oven. All right, 2 1-hour sessions. And probably won't get to handling or cleaning them up today. I got a couple other things I got to do. So, probably see you Wednesday. I don't wear man perfume. I either smell like I just took a shower or I smell like I've been working all day. Just a choice. But those of y'all that do wear the man perfume, my God. I was in the store just a minute ago and this guy had so much freaking perfume on, made my eyes water. I started gagging. I just can't understand why anybody would want to take a bath in that stuff. You know, a little smells good, but a lot makes people think you got something to hide. What are you hiding with all that damn perfume? Jeez, talk about gagging a maggot. Okay. This is ready to be handled. Let's see what this is going to look like. This is desert ironwood. Get in there. That's a neck knife with desert ironwood with about 1/3 of the hand sanding that I typically do. So I'm not completely out of the hand sanding business, but I have figured out a way to eliminate a large portion of it. Okay, I'm gonna epoxy this on, and not tomorrow, but Wednesday I'll come shape the handle. I've got this heat treated, and I've got the scale cleaned off now. Now there's no avoiding it. I do have to do some sanding on this. I don't think I'll be able to polish it. I just don't have the shoulders to sand this up as high as I need to get to a mirror polish. But you know what? I might put it on the buffer just to see what we're looking like after I sand the scale off. But I'm almost ready to put the handle on that. Okay. Let me get these epoxied on. Tomorrow I'm riding my motorcycle. So Wednesday I'll get out here. And if you've watched it this long, because I sure did a bunch of talking, thank you. And we'll see you Wednesday. Oh yeah, and just so you don't think I've forgotten my best friend, I don't let him come out here until it warms up, because he's old and I don't want him to suffer in the cold until it gets warm up. So I don't let him come out for 2 or 3 hours till the shop warms up. I have an electric heater that warms it up. Takes a couple hours, but when it's warm enough for him to be comfortable, I call my wife and I say, release the hound. And I'll stand at the door and wait for him to come down here. And he's happy to be here when it's warm, but when it's cold, he wants to be buried up in the recliner with my wife or with the other dogs.